You're recording? I thought I was recording.
You can record.
You can
So we're
both
both recording?
Everybody
Absolutely.
records. Yay.
It's fine,
I'm not
whatever.
recording. You guys have a good time.
Oh, good.
Great.
If I can only
Well,
find the
theme.
theme.
Come on.
Hold on,
Maybe you
it's
do
here.
that before you hit record so that we start off with a nice professional intro.
Hey, do you have a degree in radio and television?
Doesn't
No.
matter.
He knows what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
Where's the sound?
There's no sound, Jeff.
You can't hear that?
Oh,
know, I
now once we
couldn't.
spoke, there we can. Good. You're good.
For like a
Keep
second.
talking.
Oh, because my Zoom was like
Yeah.
not finding it. Okay, hold on, man. Let me
Yeah.
turn it down to regular levels. Welcome to Everyone Zooms to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Levachamp or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes of the world of amateur endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm mental.
Oh, I'm reading tonight, aren't I? Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Hey, and we are Everyone Racers.
on.
Thanks for coming back and listening to our last episode of 2020. Good riddance. Thank you. It's episode 171. If you're not driving a car, don't forget the A1R bingo card. Yep.
There it is. Mental is drinking,
Yep.
although it's something for him to say.
Well, I
Everyone
didn't.
else is
well,
drinking, but
I didn't know if you guys were doing that. So if Chris was going to do it, but I'm stealing this from NPR. So they had their, they said goodbye to one of the co-hosts of Up First. And they said, so for us, so for everyone here, to, as Chris mentioned, good riddance to this year. So a toast. There we go.
Can you hear my drink chilling?
Mine's already open.
I have water in a cup. It's got ice, though.
All
There you go.
right.
Everyone push it towards the screen.
We
One,
did that.
Yeah.
Did
two,
we?
three.
It's like 10
There we go.
times. Okay, let's move on.
Yep.
Jeff.
Let's
Theater of
talk
the
about-
mind, everybody.
Let's talk about what you're working on. And Jeff,
Sure.
apparently you need to enable screen sharing. if
I
you
did
have not
screen
already.
share. Didn't
Well, why don't you
Where
just
have you
keep talking about what
been,
you're doing?
dude?
I already
Good.
did.
Great.
So
Keep talking.
yes, it was Christmas and I did cooking and cooking and cooking because although we did not all gather together, we still did all the big meals and we shuttled the food back and forth between all of my relatives. So
Did you?
we kind of split into separate corners. My parents, my brother ate with my wife and son. So there was like kind of like 6 of us, 7 of us. I don't remember how many. Instead of like the 20 or so that usually get together. And then there was like 8 at another house and 8 at another house. So that was kind of cool. Lots of cooking.
What is
then
plural of Wakeman?
Wakemen. It is plural. MEN,
Mhm.
not MAN, everybody. So one of the people who did not make it to dinner was my elderly aunt who doesn't leave the house very often anymore. And we called her for Christmas and we couldn't get a hold of her. And since she kind of is a shut-in, we kind of had like panicked and went to her house. And it had been a couple of weeks since my parents had been there. And so after Christmas, I spent 3 days at her house repairing things and fixing things and making sure her apartment was, getting all the trip hazards. She had done a lot of cleaning, so there were a lot of trash bags, but her stair chair was broken. So none of the trash had been going out. So I had to repair the stair chair. We thought the refrigerator might be broken, so I had to clean and take care of the refrigerator. It ended up being fine.
So it's running?
So it's running. Yes, the
You better go
refrigerator
catch it.
is running. It was running when we were there, but it was not able to close.
Oh,
So it was
that
not
doesn't work very
keeping-
well.
It was not
Cold.
keeping the food.
It's not a good refrigerator if it doesn't.
No,
No.
no, and the smell of the cat apartment with bad food is really bad. So anyway, but that was all fine. It's all taken care of. My aunt is actually, she has a cat, and she swears the cat stole her cell phone and it was dead, so she couldn't find it.
I mean, my cat steals our cell phone.
So we were
So I
cleaning
get
the
it.
place. We found the
Cat
phone.
was dead or the cell phone
The
was dead?
cell phone was dead.
Well, you
Cat
can't.
is fine.
You can't call it if it's dead.
Yes. So
the cat or the cell phone?
no,
All
the
I'm
cat.
saying.
Cats are too
You
stupid. They
can-
don't know the
the-
name
one can
anyway.
apply to other. One rule can apply.
I know. As I
both.
said that, as you were saying it, I got it.
It kind of is Schrodinger's cat because we never see it. Like it's a scaredy cat, so it's like never seen. And on day 2 of fixing and cleaning, the cat showed up and said hi to us all. And she was like, "My cleaning lady's been coming here for 3 years, and she has never seen the cat. So you all should feel lucky." But anyway,
Yeah,
so-
Did
Loki
you feel
bless
lucky?
us each and every one.
exactly.
Yes.
Hat tip
It's a
to my
Festivus miracle.
yeah, hat tip to my brother. He cannot enter the house because of cat, and he is highly allergic.
What's your wife?
Yeah, but she didn't come. It was just my dad
Oh,
and
okay.
me, and my mom did some too. So anyway, so the stair chair switch had like snapped off. I mean, there was a broken wire inside the machine, and I had to like disassemble it, hand it to my brother, and say, "Here, you go solder this at your house and bring it back." But also the switch was broken. Like it had like the handles of the stair chair had like a left right rocker kind of deal. It was like 2 little switches inside. But they broke off, and my aunt asked the repair guy, "Hey, can you fix those switches?" He said, "Oh no, they're fine. Just stick your finger in the hole and push it." And I was like, "It's like you can
No.
It's a
imagine."
plant with electricity that always works.
No.
Yeah.
Are
yeah,
you the
yeah.
conductor?
Use a butter knife while you're at it.
Like,
yeah.
like
Lick-
see,
Lick
the-
your finger first. It's got to be wet.
the switch was still there. It was just broken inside the arm
that-
of the chair. Like, take
I
imagine a
I
desk
appreciate
chair.
him trying to save her some money.
Yeah,
You know, that's
don't-
good.
So Jim modeled his first ever 3D printed item and made longer switchy deal thingies, and we reinstalled them, and now she has switches that protrude past the arms of the chair so you can actually go up and down. And to test it, I wrote it up and down like 3 times.
I keep remembering
Sounds like-
that scene from Gremlins where the chair just accelerates up the, really.
Sounds like
Uh,
Jazzy point 2.0.
Yeah, but it's like it like goes up the steps. So it's like jing, jing,
I
jing,
know
jing,
what
jing,
it
jing, jing,
is. I
jing,
just
jing,
like
jing.
I feel like it's like Jazzy, but going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Different direction.
It went down a lot quicker than it went up. Let me tell you, it gronked a little on the way up. Like, oh man, this guy's a little
That-
bigger. We're used to.
That's the only thing a stair chair is supposed to do.
What
Bring
goes
people
down
up
to?
the
A
stairs.
one
Well,
job stair
It's
chair.
down to.
Come on.
You have 2 jobs, up and down. You shouldn't
sure.
complain about one of them.
Yes. So anyway, so that was fun.
Mhm.
And then and we wore a mask our whole time because you don't want to bring the COVID to your aunt's house. So, but anyway,
that and the cat.
the cat. Well, the cat was not that bad. So anyway, so then I did some toe pig love. Ooh. So I have the blown out exhaust. I've already mentioned that.
Mhm.
I had to have my wife bring tools. So she drove it over to my aunt's house and she was like, "Will you fix your effing exhaust?"
It sounds so cool.
She's like, "I can't hear myself think when
it doesn't
I drive
even
that thing."
Cool, because it's just blown open and it points up under the bed.
Yeah, it just rattles the entire thing.
Yeah.
So I took my place to the local muffler joint. I took it to the local muffler joint.
Oh.
And I said, "Can you fix that?" And they got underneath and they looked and they poked and they said, "That's a really weird muffler. It's like a ginormous muffler that has 2 in and 1 out, not the other way around." And they're like, "This is really an expensive part." And by that point,
Oh.
of course, I'd already said that I'm like a race car guy. So they're like, "Why don't you just go order parts? Because you'll get this a lot cheaper than
Hell
we
yeah.
will."
Yeah.
And do
you
some
know,
true duels instead of 2 into 1. Who wants that?
Yeah.
Or don't bother and just run it because
Yeah. So for the
I
price,
put a new muffler in mine. It's 2 into 1 and it's 1 out, and that's the way GM made it. And I left it that way because it's easier and good enough.
yeah.
Less
So
weight, less hassle.
the cheapest muffler he could get that was a direct replacement was $265. For
That is a pair of installed Flowmaster 10s.
Yes. So for $299, I ordered an entire cat back, and I'll be doing it myself.
There you go.
So
Ooh,
The hell.
ooh.
But at least it'll
How
go
many-
on.
How many bolts does it require to prepare this to put the cat back on?
no idea. I could count probably.
Ballpark.
Bolts. Yeah,
Are you going with this?
20 maybe, not less.
Okay.
Because it's like I'm
Over
trying to think.
over
bands.
under on how many
One,
of them will
two.
snap.
3, 4. Well, that's the problem. I'm just cutting the old one the frick
it's
off.
it's all welded. I've seen his exhaust.
Yeah. It's all
nothing but
welded.
weld after the muffler.
and it's been repaired.
Because otherwise,
So
the
it's
answer is
all
all
gone.
of them.
Yeah.
So
It's not that.
And
much
that's not a dig on Jeff. That's a dig on New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey's terrible.
Sure.
So anyway, so then
and Jeff.
I also took out the truck to get the slow leak in the tire fixed. So this is like
excellent.
2
Wow.
professionals touching my tote bag at the same time.
Weird. Did they clean out
Um,
the trash while they had it?
No, I didn't clean up the
That is a
trash.
whole new
No,
subset
them,
of
not
weird
you.
searches.
No.
Is
Oh.
2-on-1 toe pig love fest.
So
You could have at least parked next to a dumpster and just like gotten a rake.
it's
and-
generally clean
Okay.
at the moment. It's
Shovel.
got a lot of tools and parts,
Okay.
Nissan parts in
Generally
it.
clean.
No,
Yeah.
it is. It's cleaner than
Generally
the daily.
clean for who?
Oh no, it's cleaner than my daily driver. So anyway,
Jeff,
keep
Jeff. Down the street from my house is an empty lot where a lot of vagrants live. It's cleaner,
cleaner
than
than
your
my
daily
daily.
driver.
probably.
Hey,
But
they
anyway,
have to live there.
so I had a slow leak from the valve stem, and the valve stem itself, which is all part of the
TPMS.
TPMS, is basically borked. So they had to replace the entire TPMS. So like $150 to get a tire to stop leaking. I'm not happy, but that's what it cost.
Yeah. Or
Oh, well.
Rock Auto and
Do it
anyway.
myself. I don't
No,
have
you
the-
can't do it yourself. You're not going to crack that bead,
No.
but still,
And then
the
fix
parts
it
are a
now.
lot cheaper that way. For
But
it's
that was
consumer
everything.
price.
That was the parts and the labor. So I guess it's not that bad.
We're just jaded about paying people to do stuff with the cars.
I
Like,
am
it costs how
so
much?
jaded. I'm
What?
so like, oh, just do it.
Hey.
I hate you already. Just do it. That's it. That's all I did.
Like I said, I like the muffler shop near us that put a new MagnaFlow on the sub for $200 out the door.
Overnight,
Labor,
overnight,
parts,
wasn't it?
Over
Overnight?
like an afternoon.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, like we
yeah.
dropped it off
Great.
one day and it was done. And
Yeah.
we picked it up the next day.
Yeah, this guy
Anyway,
was even like, yeah, I'm gonna have to order that muffler. I'm like, you could just put any muffler you want on it. No, I gotta order that one.
we
Yeah,
told you
I'm
next
outta
time you
here.
bring. Right?
You,
should have.
you suck.
Guy.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
So, Chrissy,
Okay, let's move on.
what's going on?
Mine's quick. I prepped for Christmas, then we cleaned up for Christmas. Everybody was here. We had people come and go all weekend. There were
Only a few people, but they
Oh
were
yeah,
coming
only a
down.
few people. My parents and,
Yes.
and my sister and family. We are still waiting for presents to arrive.
Yeah,
That's
us
so
too.
Cool. Yeah, right.
My
and-
wife's Anthony Fauci socks have not shown up. I ordered them forever ago.
Yeah.
I ordered some Honda parts used, or not used, new. The guy had them, didn't use them.
Because
It's
we
new,
knew
like,
Honda. We need Honda.
yeah,
parts.
like, well, it's for the new Honda that we don't even own yet, like wheel bearings and hubs and stuff like that. But they're OEM and they're cheap. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. And he's in like central Pennsylvania, like
when did you
Shippensburg area.
buy them?
He shipped them on December 14th.
Okay.
Guess
Where are
where
they?
the first update I had from them was yesterday. Guess where? they
Florida.
are?
Florida.
Yes, they're in Miami.
How did you know this?
Because my friend who lives not too far from you in Collegeville sent something to us in
Yeah.
New Jersey,
Yeah.
and it went through Florida.
Did it arrive?
It has not yet arrived.
Yeah. That's
Like
know-
we
I
live
know what
an
else-
hour and a half from each other,
yeah.
and it
I
went
know-
to fucking Florida before
I
it came to
know
New Jersey.
what else
Yeah.
went to Florida. It might or might not have been a present from my mother, who was very sad that they did not show up at your house yet.
Shh, she's probably listening.
You're not enunciating, so nobody understands what you're saying, which I
It's-
imagine is your goal, but we have no idea how to respond.
That's fine. It's fine. It's a present that I'm telling you that was supposed to arrive a long time ago. Anyway, this is my favorite work week of the year because there's minimal people bothering you. I get so much stuff done. Chris looks over,
Work.
like, what are you mad about?
You
'Cause
mean
I'm
you
like,
don't just like sleep until noon like I do?
Not. I do
Oh,
not. I get up early. I was up
so
early today.
sorry.
No, I'm rewriting policy that I've been putting off literally all year because I'm like, I should do that now because on Monday I'm not going to do it. So Chris looks over and was like, why are you so mad? And I'm like, because I hate writing this policy. Anyway, getting a lot done.
Exactly
and
what she said and how she said it.
I'm not working on the Z, but you'll hear more about that when Chris talks. Mental, what are you up to?
I actually had the same thing. I spent most of today wrapping up a database for stratification of some people and
Stupid
and
crap
like
you
you said,
don't want to
because
do.
well, it's I don't mind. Actually, I enjoy doing it because it's important and I can kind of immediately see the results.
Me
but
too, but I don't want to start it. I'm like, oh, I think I need to do some laundry. Oh, Chris, do you need?
and my
Yeah.
thing is it's not especially challenging, but it's very detailed and you have to kind of keep track of everything. So I get in the zone, and the nature of my job is everyone comes and bothers me, which I don't mind, but this was great because I could literally just sit there all morning and get it all the way I like it. It was awesome. But more onto what I'm actually working on. The pool is finally drained. We got it done
About
Sunday.
freaking time.
I
Archimedes
know.
himself could have gotten out of the freaking grave, drain that sucker.
You could have.
Yes.
You had just
So-
one bucket, and that was it.
Yeah.
Small bucket.
Small bucket. And also the Michelins had finally gotten down to the wear bar. So I swapped the wheels on the Benz. But given your experiences with the welded wheel, and I don't have a Jeff nearby when I get a flat tire, so I had the tires swapped. And then like one of the front wheels is on a polished lip, just one polished
Yeah.
lip. Not doing
You
that.
try to get any of these. Don't care polished lip or not.
Not complaining
Yeah.
about the wheels. I'm just saying I can't put
And
mismatched rims.
You
on
also
the
have
car.
3 different sizes, too. There's
Yeah.
there's 2 8.5s, 3 8.5s, 2 9.5s, and 2 10s. And the polished one is one of the 9.5s. Anyway.
So that one came off. And then I swapped the Continentals onto the rims that were on the car. So you guys are talking about paying people too much to do menial work. Like I went to Monday, I went to the poor local Hispanic tire shop, and these guys are wrestling low profile 20-inch wheels. It's cold. I felt bad. I went and bought them
like
coffee.
20s are that big these days, like
Well,
yeah,
it's
these
a
are
30
heavy,
series.
big
These guys are
wheels.
so heavy.
And
Yeah.
and
Oh
they
my
were
God.
fighting it. They were fighting it hard. And so I tipped them all and bought them all coffee after I was done. I still got out of there, and I had some old some wheels I'm putting on the Volvo that I got out of the junkyard, and I went ahead and had the wheels pulled off of that one. I think I got out of there for $150, pulling 7 tires off, disposing of 4 of them, and then swapping 3.
Yeah.
So that was fun. So as I mentioned, the Michelins were down to the wear bar, and Sheen's screen sharing is enabled. So I had to give the Michelins a proper send off.
I just want to make sure you swapped both of the front Continentals onto new wheels.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because if you didn't,
And-
I just want to make sure you didn't have mismatched ones in the front.
And so if you're not watching this on YouTube, no worries, because this is about to be our lead out for everything. If you are watching this on YouTube, volume up. It's beautiful.
oh, it's not that loud.
And it's also clippy because you're
Yeah.
doing a lot from your computer. It's really-
Yeah. But we get the point.
Yeah.
That'll be up there. And it's
And,
just it's so easy. Like that was the least
do that, like,
difficult
some-
burnout you've ever done. You're like,
Like
well,
some
it's about
stoplights, you're just-
2,500 RPM. Yeah, okay, there it goes. Yep.
Well, it
All right.
actually was kind of challenging because they were basically slicks at this point. I posted a picture on the Instagram, and as soon as they started getting hot, they're like, "Oh, we'll stick now." And I'm like, "No, don't stick. And I'm sorry if it was choppy, but the best part is as I pull off, it grabs some gravel and hits the aluminum light pole that I had parked underneath to get the perfect lighting on it. And I couldn't do that again if my life depended on it. So the whole thing ends with a ding. It's
Nice.
Nice.
so
great.
that
Summer
that's
fun.
we're really going to start upgrading a lot of our YouTube stuff. Don't worry, you'll still be able to see these episodes on YouTube, those that you guys that watch them, but we're going to start trying some new stuff, and that's going to be our new click here to subscribe, click here for the next video, but that it's going to be overlaid over that outro until I'm sick of it, which may very well be never.
That'd be a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need like an intro screen and an outro screen as we talk
Mhm.
right in front of the podcast, in front of everybody about
let's
things we
talk
should
about
probably
what
have
we-
a meeting for.
It's
the
a
after
sausage,
meetings
folks.
for.
It's a sausage.
Yeah.
But Chris,
We'll edit it out.
Yeah, Chris,
No, we
you-
won't.
No,
No.
we won't.
Yeah, I finished up the fireplace. Like it's all done and we use it and it works great. It's wonderful. It feels like it's been here forever already. Like it's just there. Makes sense. Had Christmas. That was good. When working on the Z, I finally said, well, I can't say I can't keep doing house projects now that I'm done with that one. So I guess I got to go back to the Z. Anyway, got
Chrissy,
the headers.
angry Chrissy looked up from her policy and went, "Are you fine?" And he's working with headers, going, "I'm fine."
Oh no, we've done this. I was like,
Uh-huh.
I was doing something. I came out and I was like, "You're alive?" Oh, I went to the grocery store. What? And then I came back and I was like, "Okay, still there? Yep. On fire? Nope. Good."
Yeah.
Do
So I
you
got
want to
that.
talk about the headers? Because I think that's a big deal.
Sure.
Like
okay.
I yeah.
Like a whole.
We
show,
bought
isn't it?
some $200 tubular exhaust manifolds that were block huggers for an LS, and we thought, well, those look pretty close. Those will probably fit, right? And they
Close
were
to the
pretty
block, how
close.
bad could it be, right? Short, just do
They
it.
were pretty close. The except the driver's side just barely was hitting the steering shaft. So Jeff dug into it a little bit, and he
Banged
tried
the
to
piss out of him for 2 straight days.
Over and
basically,
over and over.
and it didn't really move it. And then cut a piece off and weld another piece in to try to bring it in, and that didn't
move
do it. And then it extended cut the flange off and welded a longer piece on to move it down, and that
Didn't fix it.
didn't do it. So I said, well, okay, I'll just do this the way we should have started with this. And I cut the header tubes, the primaries, up at the flange, like flush with the flange, 85% of the way through. Put them on the car, bent them down to open up the pie cut till it was in the right spot, which there's not much room between, like it can only go down about half an inch. So brought it about half of that distance and then welded them all back up.
Was this at the outside or the inside of the bend? So did you bring it closer to the block or
Yes.
further away from the block?
Closer to the block.
Closer to the block. So
So I
you
cut
cut
them
the
at the
inside
top.
of the bend. Oh, no,
I
the
cut them
top.
at the top, the very top.
Yeah. The outside of the
them-
radius and then opened it up.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. And then
Got
open it up and then weld. Yeah, I had to weld the holes closed. And then I ported the insides of all the pipes because I just made a little bit of a mess and wanted to make good, clean transitions there. So did all that. And now it fits with, an 1/8 of an inch on each side, which is just right. So done. Then I've made exhaust, which is basically from the headers down pipes that go all the way back to the aftermarket catback exhaust that came with the car. So those are like, one of them was 9 pieces to get all the bends to get it like around the starter and then back up and around the other way and past the transmission into the tunnel into the pipe. So it was a bunch of pieces, and it's all just wiggle your way under the car on the cold concrete.
Yes.
Put a piece there, mark it, go back out, cut it again, wiggle way back in the cold concrete, get the welder, realize that you forgot to turn the gas on, wiggle way back out in the cold concrete, turn the gas on, wiggle your way back into the car, tack weld it, wiggle your way back out. Yeah, it's annoying, but it's done. The exhaust is all made.
We should do a show about how difficult engine swaps are and why people just shouldn't.
We should. That'd be
We
good.
should. Yes.
Also reinstalled the heat shield above the exhaust because I figured I'm not putting the exhaust on yet because I want to take the headers off one more time and have them ceramic coated because Bill's got some stuff he made up that I want to put on before we install
Jar
said
number
headers.
3.
No, you don't want 3. It's tough.
Do not taunt jar number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also put in some gauge senders because wiring is my next project on that. That'll start tomorrow, I guess, or maybe not because it's New Year's Eve. F it. After that.
Mhm.
Yep. So happy for heated insulation in a garage. Makes it not unpleasant.
That's
Just happy to not be lying on the ground and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Damn it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
This is those of us that wrench only in our driveway alone. That's pretty much our life.
And by those of us, you mean you,
I mean
because
me, yes.
no. And I
But we
don't
have
even live where it's
garages.
that cold, man. No.
It's the 40-foot walk between the vehicle that you're wrenching on and the toolbox. You never realize how many times you're going to make that walk in a day until you're
Wow.
wrenching alone. Like, especially if it's like deep in your garage that's a mess and you got to like step over a bike and the cardboard
Walk.
that hasn't gone out. All other-
I've
Walk around the enclosed trailer.
Exactly.
and- yeah.
I've told this story at the track, but when I lived in Nebraska and I didn't have a garage, I didn't even have a driveway. I had on-street parking.
Ugh.
I was laying underneath my GTI and I had about 3 hours to get it running because I had to be at work. And that was probably one of the biggest career motivators I ever had. Cause it was like 17 degrees and I'm at that desperation point of wrenching. And I'm like, I got to do something else because this ain't working.
I once changed the clutch master cylinder for an E30 on a street parking. It wasn't on a busy street, fortunately, and it was February.
Yeah.
That was a
We've
shame.
all done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then shortly after all of that, I went to college.
I get it.
I was already graduated at that point.
New and notes.
Hey, new year, new car. Well, Car and Driver published their list of every car available in the United States with a manual transmission. There's the pair of Beamers, and of course, you expect to see the Camaro and the Mustang. There are a few surprises. I found the Genesis G70 a little bit surprising. That's a proper 4-door touring car. It's available with a manual. The Honda Accord,
But not with the V6.
Yeah, but that Turbo 4 is impressive. The Honda Accord can be ordered with a stick shift.
Also in the
Yay.
4-cylinder only.
How are we missing the Vantage?
Yeah,
what?
But the
The Vantage doesn't surprise me that it's available, but go ahead. I mean, yeah, the Vantage. Yeah, it's on there. We've got
Jeff,
the whole list.
the Accord's a 4-cylinder too, but they give you the 2-liter turbo, the same one as in the Civic Type R, just slightly detuned in the Accord with the manual, which is
That's all I'm
still
saying.
pretty fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
everybody
proper.
wants a Chevy Spark, so duh.
No, I'm
And
just
the,
saying that the
miserable little
Anybody that gets a
penalty
Chevy
box.
Spark is not going to buy
I'm
it
just
in a
gonna
manual.
say with the
Yeah.
just like the
or
Mazda
listen to this
3.
podcast. Really,
It's true.
yeah. Say yeah. The E1R favorite Mazda 3 is available with stick shift, but not in the all-wheel drive turbo version. In fact, our former guest Jeff from Hooniverse just road tested the all-wheel drive turbo Mazda 3. It's a good car, but we all want it to be the 323 GTX, and it's not. It's
Mazda's too grown up for that now.
Yeah.
right. It's just a really good car. It also, and I know we're going to go down this hole on this one. The Jetta is still available with a stick shift. The GTI,
The
but
Germans,
Jetta-
they
the
don't
Jetta-
drive the automatics. No,
well,
I
the
just
the good Germans do.
yes. So what-
Veloster.
So I have a theme that I saw, and it's basically like the cool car, but not the cool motor.
Well,
Yeah.
some of them, yeah, like
Because the
Civic-
G70 has a twin turbo 6. No, you can't have that.
sure.
You got to do the
Like,
4.
The Civic Type R is the good motor. The GTI, that's the good motor.
The
sports
Veloster
cars,
N, yeah.
right? Then
True.
the Mustang, the Camaro, the Vantage,
yeah, I
the
guess.
Porsches,
Challenger?
Porsche, all the Porsches, yes.
Well, no,
Thank
the
God they're bringing it back.
GT3
No, not all the Porsches.
No, the GT3 was PDK only for like a year, and then the people said 9, and we want some manual, and the
And they
Porsche
made
brought
it
it back.
and they made the manual on the GT3 for 1 year and went right back to the PDK.
Did they? I thought it was again available.
You can get it in the standard 911, but as soon as you start getting to the hot versions, you can't have the
So
stick.
there you go. The motor you want. Can't get a stick.
Honestly, we've all driven the GT3. That transmission is magic.
Yes, I
It is.
understand.
It's a good one.
So,
Oh, wow.
so I wanted to point out that 2 of the chassis here, two of the very good chassis here, are older than Frick, and they have already promised the new model. So the 400Z, or the 370Z has already been promised the 400Z, and the the
Magnus Walker already has one.
Yes, and the BRZ 86 twins already have the replacement previewed, but not yet available. Will they both be on the list next year? Round the horn.
Yep.
Next.
Absolutely.
What do you
Yes.
think?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally,
Yes.
no chance, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Nissan, Subaru,
Like,
they
Ni-
can't screw this up.
Subaru
right?
Subaru's already confirmed it. Like, it's
did
not
they?
even
Okay.
oh, yeah.
That and because they know that they make one of the last rear-wheel drive stick shift cars in the world, and all the drifter guys like that, and it's a good car. It's a really good car. And the
Wait,
300
which one are you
is
talking
supposed
about? The BRZ?
the BRZ, and then the Z is supposed to be getting back to its roots. Every now and again the Z gets a little too bloated and a little too luxurious, and then they hit the reset button. And this one is supposed to be a reset button where it gets back to the 240 style of motoring.
As long as they
Process.
don't jam an engine under a hood that's too low, requiring many compromises in many ways on a Z car,
Because
that
that
would be
one was
nice.
the bloated.
They're
That was the
s-
bloated
They're
version.
still making a
I don't know.
Mirage.
The 350Z wasn't
What?
any less bloated.
Why?
Yeah. The Mirage.
People who
that
have
was-
no credit.
that was-
That's
yeah.
But that's
yes.
Spark.
That was the-
They buy a Spark.
That was the
If you
car
have
that I got
worse
into
credit.
an argument with Ike from the Untitled Car Show about. He swears he tested one, did a write up on one, and he swears for what it is actually a good car. And I've seriously considered reaching out to Mitsubishi. And if you work for Mitsubishi or for one of the regional distributors, I would actually love to get a hold of one of those. And I want to do a similar road trip because the crux of his argument was, I'm an idiot for taking a 150,000 mile Mercedes to Washington State. And I would argue that I would do that 14 times
Yes.
from a buy here, pay here lot before I would drive a Mitsubishi Mirage
Done.
to Washington State across the Nevada desert. And he says it's not that bad. So I actually do want to test that theory.
A Mirage won't go 140 unless you drop it off of something tall.
Yeah. And I can't imagine like at 140 having this conversation. Wow,
Right
man,
now.
this car
let
is
me
so
turn my
smooth,
my
man.
vented
This-
seats on. Can I?
Yeah.
My butt's a little
Exactly.
warm. Thank you.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. And if there was one of your favorite cars on the list, get a hold of us on our social media, talk about it. Chrissy already pointed out we missed the Vantage. I thought maybe that was kind of obvious, but obviously it wasn't.
No,
Oh,
I
wow.
just want to mention that
Okay.
if anyone at Mitsubishi is delivering the car to Mental so he can test, I would gladly test the 400Z. Just bring that over here. I'll
That's
check that one out.
Different company, but yeah.
I'm saying
They're
usually
actually-
fleet cars are all
they're-
managed by fleet people, not by the companies themselves.
And
Yeah,
those are
yeah,
actually, in
actually-
a strategic alliance. The Nissan, Renault, Mitsubishi is like kind of one family now.
You should look into your local automotive conglomeration of writers there in Pennsylvania. It's how you guys got into the Pennsylvania car show or the Philly International Car Show. I would argue that if a distributor does listen to this, you would be the perfect person to test this because you could drive it in New Jersey traffic and then your wife could drive it to Penn State and then you would get a really full spectrum opinion on that
And
car.
hey, you have a Nissan tow vehicle and a
And a Nissan race
Nissan-
car.
A Nissan
Shh.
race?
is
I'll
getting
shove
less
under the
Nissan
hood.
by the day.
Yeah.
Shut it.
Yeah.
Shut
Okay.
it.
Keep
Shut it.
going. Do you do the Twitters?
Nope.
I do not. I don't care. If you do, though, I'm sorry, but you should follow Liam Freeman, apparently. He's a freelance auto writer, runs a site called Backroad UK. He's been doing lately, he's been talking about 90s F1 footage and remastering it at 60 feet per second. Result is almost the quality of the video we see now, but recorded on older technology of older races. It's pretty interesting seeing that restored 90s onboard footage because F1 then was the last of the really, truly analog cars. Sena at Monaco apparently was pretty great, but it's already been removed from the site because F1 didn't like someone else getting lots of views of their footage. So we're going to have to take.
I did not know that.
So I was trying to find the video this afternoon, and I'm like, "Where is it?" And then there he posted all of his Twitter feeds and was like, "Well, I'm sorry, F1."
So
put it back."
maybe we'll see it some other day.
Maybe.
It was the most Senna of anything.
Don't stop.
Yeah,
Stop
damn it.
I'm so sorry. All right, sorry. So the link's in our show notes, but it won't get you anywhere.
Yeah, you can read about the story that Chris just told you, so don't bother clicking.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, you have heard about emotional support animals, have you?
Yes.
Get ready for the emotional support car. Excuse me. Chris
I think that's what the Mercedes is for mental.
Yes, right. At the drive tells about Hyundai's newest creation. So the Little Big Emotion project brings together artificial intelligence to monitor and alter mood and well-being of kids who drive it. And this is their most advanced power wheel ever. It was made to accompany children from their hospital beds in Barcelona Children's Hospital to the treatment room. And it's supposed to be stressful, blah, blah, blah. This goes crazy over emotion adaptive vehicle control. It's basically all AI to like look at your kid and figure out are they stressed? What are they feeling? And then it sings you a little song. You push a little button and it says, "Are you better?" And because they're like, "Oh, kid's stressed," and then it'll say, "Here, let's practice breathing," and then you do that, and then it'll tell the computer to the guy who's the doctor, and saying, "Okay, Jenny's better now," and then Jenny's ready for treatment. So they drive, and it's great. So there's that link in our show notes all about it. It's a 6-minute video, and
they're so cute.
They are cute, and I have to say, this stuff terrifies me. This stuff, if you put this in a real car and you drove it somewhere, it is going to look at you and be like, "Oh, do you have road rage? Oh, little Jenny, you have road rage. Oh, Chrissy, you seem to be upset at the moment. Let me put on
Here is
your
a calming
red lights."
fragrance. No.
I feel like though you're missing also what could be the personality of the car. So like if the AMG had this kind of stuff, it would be like, "Chris, you have had a bad day.
Yeah.
I know what you
It
need."
sounds like a Russian.
I'm doing a bad
drug
German.
lord.
I'm doing a bad German accent, But it's und now is the time for burnouts. Yes, it would make you very happy. And I would go, yeah, it would, And then like I'd be at a stoplight. Und Christian, the Mustang next door thinks you want to race. Shall I humiliate him for you?
Look, this is my inner voice every stoplight.
Except you're in a 200,000 mile Mazda 3.
Yeah,
with
I feel like I would end up supporting. I would support like the Mercedes. No, stop it, Mercedes. There's a Charger over the hill. It's a cop. We can't do that. I do not like so long.
Wait, but the car would already know that the cop is over there because it has AI. So let me get back to the story. It's very touching. It's a really interesting concept. It's nice for little kids. I can only imagine having a child that is going through something like that. So sure, if there's anything to calm them down and make them happy and make you feel a little bit assured that the breathing and the stuff that this little car has made this kid happy, wonderful. And of course, it's only in one. Hyundai just gave it to one.
Don't forget the best part of what it can do, though.
It blows bubbles. It blows bubbles. At the very end, it's like, "Are you better? Let's play bubbles." And she's like, "Ah!" So anyway,
I just want to know: do you think the kids are racing them up and down the little cancer
There's only
ward?
one.
Oh, there's only one. See, now
Yes.
that's a problem.
Right?
There needs
As
to
soon
be a
as they
second.
have-
Because I'd be like, look, I know I'm getting my cancer treatment today. I know I'm like near death. But
Oh.
Zippy across the way has like challenged me to a race.
That's the AMG version that they're working on right
they
now.
don't have that one yet. So no, there's only one.
Tyler, I can see you're not
Right?
feeling well. Let us go crush the poor Polish boy.
Anytime there's two of anything, they will get raced. Doesn't matter
Right.
what it is.
So there's only one. They came up with one. It's very cute. I hope it's working. Great job. Fun thing to think about. Not fun. I don't want it if it becomes an adult version. There you go.
Okay.
That's awesome. I'm gonna go watch it and I'll probably cry because I'm in my feels these days. I'm gonna talk about kit cars for a moment. In my notes, it is suggesting that I taunt Chris about the Lotus 7 project. I will not, because he who live in
Then we
glass
won't taunt
houses
you about
should not
the international
throw
pickup.
stones.
So true. So true.
As I do all the work on the Z.
all the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyway,
But
we'll
anyway.
keep moving on.
So we're kit cars. We're gonna talk about kit cars. Everybody wants a kit car. Your 5.0 Mustangs are no longer the coolest thing to make a kit car out of, but your Miata is. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Automotive TV personality Ant Anstead, we think that's how you say it, came up with a new kit car for a second-gen Miata. Ant BT Dubs is the replacement. Oh, by the way, is the replacement for Ed China on Wheeler Dealers. Oh, it's the Ant guy. I like that dude. I watch that show. He has created a kit to turn your Miata into a single-seat Alfa Romeo Tipo 184. Ant's dream is that these Tipo 184 kits will be built in numbers large enough to support a spec racing series. And hell yeah, I would race the balls off this thing.
Yes.
It would be amazing. It's not cheap. Pre-order pricing starts at 8,500 pounds sterling. That's about 11.5. Actually, I don't think that's that bad.
Yeah,
It's just not
supply and
cheap.
Miata, and there's a bunch of other stuff. You'll be 20
Yeah.
by the time you're done, but
Delivery is expected to happen by the end of 2021. You
In the
need
way-
to click this link in the show notes.
Yeah.
This thing looks gorgeous.
It is. It is so gorgeous. I would also like by the time the whole Brexit thing settles, a pound sterling might be worth like 12 cents. So it
It's
might be a
true.
lot cheaper.
true. Yeah, that's very true.
Oh yeah, there it is. And so I'm gonna for the folks watching on YouTube, I'm gonna just put it up there. Look at that thing.
To the side.
Ooh.
To,
What, that one?
you block your face is what you're trying to do. Not there. You go. Good. Now come up a little. Perfect.
That's it.
There it is. There you are.
That's the kit.
Yeah.
Tipo184.com. TIPO184.com.
We've got both of those links. We've got a link to the Haggerty article and a link to the actual website.
It's on the show notes.
Cool. You know what that means it's time for?
No, I don't. What's the time?
Listener feedback. Yay! Woo!
Wait. Upcoming races?
No.
Past races.
You're not funny. You're not.
All right,
you're
listener feedback.
not.
Our European representative and Rona survivor Erling took to the kind time to message us on the gram. He said, Merry Christmas to all of you and your families with love from Sweden.
That's nice.
It's very nice.
I
Corey
won't even yell at the
D.
microphone.
Corey D commented on our last show with engine swaps are hard. Preach, brother. And it's worth mentioning Corey's one of those people that actually knows what he's doing when he does engine swaps. So if he hates it, it's a dumb idea.
And yet he keeps doing more on everything.
Yeah, I think he spent the day after Christmas prepping another LS harness.
Yeah. Anyway, on the YouTube, Michael K wanted to clarify a few things. FYI, the Plumero, that's the Camaro with the Plymouth flathead, lost IOE for the right reasons. The brown on brown rear-wheel drive 626 was robbed in their first outing for IOE. 626 absolutely beat the Plumero on laps, but not by some huge margin. We did do the Chrysler flathead swap for IOE Gold, but even more so for the blasphemy points. Pony Car and Mobile Standard Bearer with a 250-pound heavier drivetrain with 75 horsepower less than the worst motor offered that year. All of our problems that race weekend were mid-90s GM problems, none due to the drivetrain swap.
That is actually it. That is
That's
100%.
awesome.
I was on my way to drive it, and I was working in the judge's booth, and I grabbed my helmet, and Eric goes, "I don't think you're driving it," and he points it to it coming in the flatbed, and it was the rear end had gone. The rear end couldn't handle flathead 6.
Sure.
Sure. Also on our engine swap episode, young Chris Egan said he missed a large reason to not doing one. Big life changes. I bought an E36 when I was single, didn't see it changing. Had stayed single, I would have finished the engine swap in a year or two because honestly, I like the fab part. Instead, I met Kirsten, and then my free time could go towards race things. They dropped, and then we got engaged. We dropped more. We bought a house and got married, and now my free time for stupid race car things is very limited. Not complaining at all. Very happy for how it all worked out. Just a large life change. I will finish the E36 once I finish renovating my garage, so I have a place to do it. But man, the timeline is long. Don't we all know it?
Mm-hmm.
Danger, young Egan. There is a magic wand that makes race cars go away. And that's probably next on your life list.
Your teammate will take it and work on it for them?
I don't
No.
know.
It's a different kind of goes away.
A little stick that your wife pees on.
I'm not convinced that's the absolute on that one because
No,
you have a
I'm
child.
kidding.
You're a very successful
Sure.
parent. The Fishers have done a marvelous job incorporating their children. The Chris and Mary, they do a great job with their kids. There's all kinds of kids that run around the racetrack all the time.
Sure.
I think it can be done quite well.
Sure. Chris, nice to hear from you. We haven't heard from you in a while. Our super racing buddies at We Like the Tuna commiserated with our axle woes. We are all too familiar with engine swap conundrum. If you're swapping something odd like they did, take the time and research common failure points of your donor drivetrain in stock and modified form. We did not and found the common failure points at Thompson. There are now 5 less Cobalt SS CV axles in existence because of us.
Good on you.
The only
Eric-
people looking for Cobalt SS CV axles are Donnie. So
Yeah.
just use them all up. It's okay.
Eric K commented on Facebook, I knew Captain Jeff was into key parties, but I didn't know that he was into swapping engines.
Nice callback from like
Yeah,
a
that's good.
10-year-old.
That
It
was
wasn't that
great.
old.
Eric's
5-year-old.
good for that. The winner of our Show Us a Running Lemons car and get an E1R koozie is nobody. Nobody sent anything. That's about right.
Lots of action on that post. Like there was plenty of people posting. Not one person had a running lemons car.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Sunday iRacing. This weekend was trash sprints at NHMS with different cars at Irwindale. As expected, it was hilarious. So we had some really great driving in the first race, silly hats, no pedal. Tyler was playing his French horn and making himself go around the track. A very novel idea was Bish using a pickle. So he was driving by a pickle.
How do you drive by pickle?
He was using the electrolytes around
Electrical resistance
You made
by the
it-
salty brine in it by moving.
and
it
he was
around,
going
it
through
changed the
pickles pretty
resistance.
quickly,
Yeah.
and he was like frying them. Yeah, that was really interesting.
Have any of you ever seen a glowing pickle?
Oh,
Oh.
I'd like to talk
Not
about that night.
not in the context that you're talking about.
No.
I had to slow
So-
down.
I'm about to describe something that none of the listeners should do. But if you run regular old house current, like let's just say you solder a couple of wires to a plug, to a fork, to a pair of forks, and stick a pickle in the middle, it will light up like a lamp.
How
Good to know.
unsafe is this?
Not at all, Chrissy.
Okay, great. Great. Anyway, hilarious. We also had a blind driver. He had a paper bag over his head driving. And then they had a nudge car, was the guy who was driving by bongos. So that was exciting. Really good race, always is. Next up was Irwindale. No jump. Totally lame. Then with the jump, freaking hilarious. And then I went to bed. Yeah. This Sunday, it's a Funduro at Monza.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait a minute.
So, uh-oh.
You hijacked this show.
For a
The show
pickle.
pickle.
I'm
light
just
bulb.
saying.
Okay, so
pickle
there's a
here.
pickle.
See
on
in
a
the
stand-
background.
There's a pickle on toothpicks. There's a wire in the butt. and
He's
there's-
plugging
wrapped.
it into the wall.
He has wrapped this thing in wires,
Oh
though,
my God.
and it lights right up. Yep.
and burns right out.
Then he shuts it off because
No,
he's
he's tr-
trying not to burn his house down.
Good plan.
Nobody do that. And
Please
don't
end the
even
video.
think about posting it to our social media because
We'll take it
I
down. It's
will
unsafe.
I will not be held accountable.
You've got like a year until Josh does that for a science fair.
Yeah.
Use a 12-volt battery
Maybe.
at least when you do it. It's less likely to.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, use a
Catch on
battery. That's a
fire.
good point. Use a battery. So for our E1R race, in preparation for this Sunday, we had the Monza Oval counterclockwise. Normal cars the first race, and then silly cars the second. Now, I spent the first race watching literally everything past the Mercedes GT3, which in real life never happens. But I maxed out the AMG and at a top speed of 170. And every now and again, Santiago would have pity and bump draft me up to 185. Corey and Chrissy had an epic Cadillac battle. It was awesome.
Oh, we were so close. I was so close to win. I think I was in second, like solidly in second.
Yeah.
And then we went 3 and 4. Like there was 3 of us in a row, and then there was somebody else around. Somebody else took me. We were in the banking. That's dangerous. Do not try to pass 3 wide the banking. And then somebody crashed me. I was so pissed.
I don't think I crashed you that race. Usually I do.
Because I walked away from you because I happened to be in a better car. So
No, my car was fast. I just didn't have control in the first race yet.
because
Because
I don't think
totally
anybody
missed.
He didn't really have control in the second race.
I did?
So the second race I took, I was the only other caddy. It was me and Chris, and we laughed at the dirt cars. And then I literally ran over Jeff.
Well, the cars in the second race, let's say what some of them were. So we kept the Caddy and the Lotus 49, but put on dirt modifieds. And
That was
something
a
called
poor choice.
I thought it was hilarious. And something called a Silver Crown, which is like 800 horsepower tube frame slick dick
One
tires. with only
gear.
2 gears, actually.
Oh,
2
two.
gears and a 58-gallon fuel cell. So Uncle Dave had that thing. And it was surprisingly fast.
You had the
We'd run out
Lotus
of
49s too, because that's what I
Yeah,
was
had
in.
the Lotuses. I also put in dirt sprint cars, like the 3 of the with the big wing on top. No one picked those, which is smart. But it was cars that had no
The
business
whole,
being on
the
track.
whole idea is not about being smart here.
No,
No.
this is fun. And there was a sentence uttered there that's never ever been or will be uttered again. Is, man, I just watched a Lotus 49 carve through a bunch of dirt sprint cars around Monza Oval.
So I was in the 49s on both races.
Or no, it's dirt modifieds. That
Yeah,
was
dirt
what it was,
modifieds. I was in the 49. I was the one that drew through the traffic. There is nothing sketchier. Like, what year Monza is that?
That's old school oval, so it's all
The
bumpy.
pavement is
Like
just,
if you've ever seen the John Frankenheimer Classic Grand Prix, where they talk about how bad the concrete was there in
concrete is
1968.
And the
terrible.
transition between the banking, like in turn, like it's one, right? Like when
Yeah.
you're going like
Yeah.
solidly straight, and all of a sudden you have to like go down. You can't
a
see where it
yump.
is, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, with the 87s in both races too, actually.
So
Yeah.
in the Lotus 49, you can get to, if you mess with the gear ratio, I saw 209 down the straight. And then I
good.
got to those bumps. You cannot do those bumps.
And
at
I was
200,
watching. I
so
don't
you
know
have
if
to
it was
lift.
you, somebody, anybody I saw on the Lotus, you just try to drive like you're like drunk, right? Like you just like can't get up on the banking.
My
You can't go like
arms were
this.
tired because the way the steering wheel was being yanked back
So
and forth.
so clearly this is something that we do every Monday, and we do not have any fun at all. It's terrible.
don't laugh.
Yeah, no. So, but genuinely, obviously, this is a lot of fun. We have a lot of listeners show up. Actually, we had every now and then like a non-listener. We just have fun with it. Get a hold of us. It is password protected because we don't want serious racers getting in there. And
At least they know
we
what
have
to expect. That's
yeah,
the whole idea.
and then we have the Discord, which that's 90% of the entertainment right there.
yes, got to
Get a hold of us
Discord,
on
everybody.
get a hold of us on any of the methods we list at the end of the show. Love to have you. Do we even know what we're doing Monday? We'll figure,
it out.
I'd have to look.
All
We'll
right.
find something fun. Well, they're
yeah,
doing
and-
trash racing, so we'll probably do something entirely
Trashy.
different just because. But we won't do the same trash racing they do. We'll pick a different kind of trash racing, because we just did something semi-serious when we did Lotuses at Silverstone. So I don't know. We'll figure something interesting out.
I just want to mention that
who
we will
always-
give anyone the password.
Oh yeah,
Just hit us up.
Yeah. Just hit us up. If you bother to reach out to us, we'll give you the password.
Yeah.
Just literally like one time we were doing Daytona, and who was it that was just running away with it the whole race?
Some friend
Tyler.
of Dave's.
And
Oh, it was Tyler. Sorry, you're right.
it was
Tyler.
Tyler, and it was a yellow white checker, and Tom Lemieux just cruises up next to him under the yellow flag and smashed
them all up.
So if that's not going to upset you, come on
Come on
out and
over.
have fun racing. But
We all laughed.
yeah, you know who always figures out something.
Wait, I had something better.
Okay, go for it.
Well, we can have more than one.
Yeah.
All right.
Go, no,
Chrissy, do you know what took a long time to get to my house through the mail? But actually showed up this week?
Oh,
Your
good,
mom's
you got it?
cookies.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got 'em.
Oh, excellent.
Thanks
I
for the
guess-
cookies.
Oh, I guess you
Chrissy's
did get
mom.
one mental.
And thanks for listening.
Yours is coming like in 3 weeks. or
It'll be
something.
there eventually.
It's in Florida.
It's or somewhere else. I'm very sorry on behalf of my mother is mad.
Oh, no. Look,
I
here's-
assure you.
This is the reality. They're worth waiting for.
Oh, they're gonna be gross by
Yeah,
the time
they're
you
not
get
as
them.
good.
We'll send some more.
There,
in
there were little like
June or
gingerbread
something.
men. They were like little tiny ones.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Ooh, excellent, excellent.
Yummy.
I actually cleaned out my garage and reorganized everything, and I came across the first birthday card she sent me right after we started doing the show. And it's from the 50s, and it's two women leaned over in the hood of a car, and it says, "I hope you have a great birthday. Your cookies are on their way." And I still have that. It's hanging on the pegboard of my garage.
So
Cool.
nice.
Main topic time.
All right, so it's our annual New Year's goals. We used to say resolutions, and Chrissy had an entire perspective on why you don't call them resolutions, you call them goals. And and we loved it so much we stuck with it. And I can't remember what it was, but Point being,
I'm
she's
sure I
right.
said something very profound.
It was a good reason at
No
the
doubt.
time. So.
It's still a good reason. So
I have a lame diatribe, but I won't go into it. Why
well,
I don't
so
do New Year's
You
resolutions.
can take it.
I
We're already
threw a
late.
link. I threw a link to our show notes up there. But for real quick, look, we do want to talk about Christmas. Chris, how'd you score this year?
I did pretty well. I got a wonderful Icon 3/8 ratchet, like 90 teeth, smooth, heavy, nice switch gear. Jeff, you're gonna want one of these once you use it.
I'm sure I will.
I got some rum, got a backgammon set, got some welding gloves, and a nice work light. So
Ooh.
good times. Yeah.
I got some Nomex balaclavas. Now I have to promise to wear them. I got 2 because once you take one off, it's gross.
Yeah.
Some awesome workout socks, a cool hat, and a blow-up pillow for our next camping adventure, and a new cool set of headphones for running outside.
You already had a cool set of headphones. These have to be amazing.
They're different for different use. These are aftershocks, the ones that don't actually stick in your ears. They go on the outside of your ears. and
Do they
your
like
ear
go
like-
around your ears so they don't fall off?
Yeah, they do, but they're like they don't actually go in your ear.
Yeah.
So you can hear the bus that's about to hit you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which is exactly why I do it, because when I run on the trail, I like to hear if somebody's around me. So yeah, they actually work pretty well. So
On your left. On your left.
Basically.
On your
I
left.
watched that. I watched
don't-
that last night.
We
I
don't
love that.
actually have those people on our trail, but I like to know if somebody's around.
Captain America
So-
reference.
Yeah,
Got
thank
it.
you.
Got it. Get that. Thanks.
Bill got it. He was listening.
Yes,
Who's next? Me?
you are.
Jeff?
Okay.
Mhm.
I got all Carbon X
Yay.
socks,
Those
long
things are
underwear,
so good.
couple of head socks, everything. So I'm definitely going to be slightly more burn proof than I was in the past. Very exciting.
Excellent.
I also got a V1 version 2. Very excited. New
Oh, yeah!
radar
Wow.
detector. Valentine.
Did
Wow.
your wife? Did your wife listen to our show?
No.
Oh.
My brother and my mother got it for me. They split it. So
Oh, great.
Wow.
Nice.
That's so
a
much
nice
fun.
present.
I haven't put it
Score,
in
Jim.
anything yet. I read the instruction manual, but I really haven't driven anywhere. So
Who are you
Uh,
and what have you done with our friend? You read the instruction manual?
Not that you.
it was like a quick start guide. Let's not get excited.
It's only been a week, so it's cool.
Doesn't matter. I listened to every single review beforehand. I already know which app I'm going to put on my phone. I already know which settings I'm going to run. So.
Good.
But I do that before when I decided to get it. But anyway, I got some other cool stuff, but that's like the car related stuff, I guess. So yeah, I guess I'll pass it over there. Mental, what you get?
Got a new set of Converse. I had my old blue Chuck Taylors. I always have Chuck
Oh,
Taylors,
yes.
and I had bleached them out, putting chlorine in the pool. So Vicky got me a brand new set. So those are safe in the closet. I was in the garage last night. She's like, "You're not wearing your new shoes?" I'm like, "No, those are going out Converse. These are
I
house
understand.
Converse." And she also got me a bottle of 1942, the Don Julio 1942, which is my favorite and not cheap, but so worth it. And I got a
So
great
delicious.
so delicious. I got a great selection of Stone Brews from a very dear friend who had them actually delivered to our house. It was great.
Wow, is
So-
that a thing? Is it like
Ex-
Grubhub but present?
Apparently in Las Vegas, yeah.
delivery?
And I do know you can have weed delivered here,
I'm not
you know,
surprised by
which
that at
yeah,
all.
I know. I can't do that, but yeah. And so I got a text that said, "Hey, are you going to be home between 5 and 8? There's a delivery coming, and you have to show him your ID."
Oh.
I'm like,
Oh.
this
Oh,
won't go
what-
well.
Yeah.
And,
Do I have to say I'm not a cop?
yeah. And but when the guy shows up, I'm like, oh God, so like I had to run back in the house, get my mask because I don't want to be rude. And then like he's bringing a case of beer. I'm like, oh crap, it's holidays again. Hang on one second. I run back in the house and got him a tip because this dude's out there Christmas.
But you
Eve
didn't know what to
delivering beer.
expect.
I had no clue,
That's
no clue.
funny.
But it's great. So yeah, so we got a lot of those. So those are in the beer fridge outside.
That's awesome. Okay, next up is the best thing this year, and I'm going to do a quick.
Other than the wrap up video for Lemons where Mental cries.
Haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it yet.
you haven't seen it yet? Shoot.
Well, and Jeff got the unedited rant video.
That's hilarious. When you said, what'd you say, piss covered pogo stick?
that might have been the nicest thing I said.
That was
And
hilarious.
Hey, well,
I'm sorry.
check it
Go
out.
on, Chrissy.
No problem. This is just a super quick interjection. So there's a Facebook group that I belong to had a challenge to write all of the great things that happened this year. And I was like, well, it was cool till March, and then all I did was rotate from room to room, which is all I do. And you may feel the same. So I went back through my photos and realized that there's a whole lot of fun things I've done, even just since March. So some of them were inside. That was the rum and vodka tasting with my mom. And then there were some of them were outside. We went hiking in New Hampshire and a rally in the NSX. But you might be surprised to remember the good things that happened this year. So I am going to challenge you to go back and think about for each month, come up with a couple of good things that happen each month. Because I feel like there is so much negativity online about how bad 2020 was. And sure, it's bad. And if you had a death in the family or sickness or something, it's bad. But try to remember what happened that was good this year. That's all.
Awesome. Yeah.
I became addicted
I
to TikTok. Does that count?
actually,
Oh, yeah.
no, my, as soon as you said that, my brain started going through it, and and it was just, it wasn't that bad, and I started clicking through stuff. But like Chris said, we're already going. So let's talk about what we're most excited for in 2021. And
very
I
excited.
wrote this, and I love that I wrote this, and everybody wrote the same thing.
Yeah.
So, PRI or SEMA. Hopefully, SEMA will be in person, or both.
Yep. All right. Let's go.
PRI, I'm down.
Yeah, of those two, PRI, it's something different. It's racing, more racing focused. Let's give it a shot.
Absolutely. I just because I'm here, I'm doing SEMA, but yeah,
Sure.
you guys,
Totally.
you guys are welcome to
Oh
come
yeah,
back.
if I didn't have to
Yeah.
take vacation days,
Right.
I'd be
Or
there.
we
Yeah.
suddenly have a lot more than we planned.
You're our SEMA correspondent.
Yes.
Right.
And we can have.
Well, and I could get us decent enough internet to where you could work from my house too if you need to.
Oh.
I
I'd
don't
have to,
believe
like-
you. Actually, I don't believe that your internet will be decent enough that I can.
I
work from
still
there.
have to go to work to prove that I'm working. So
Your management sucks.
yeah, something tells me by what is it? December?
December.
Is it December? Something tells me by December 21, I will be required to be at my desk every day.
I will probably have to go back once in a while by then. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay. Most
So yeah,
interesting
so we're
thing to-
looking forward to PRI.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's go. Most interesting thing to happen in the car community this year.
I would argue that iRacing has gone. It is. There was an opportunity for it to go really, really wrong and really, really right, and certainly there are people in that community that are trying to make it go really, really wrong, but it's been great. You guys, I think you guys have a name for it, but I usually sign off before you use it. But there's, when I've had a bad day at work on Monday and I log on there and I'm not talking and I'm not doing anything but driving but when
We don't notice that at all.
I'm
Sorry.
when I'm done, I'm in a better mood.
True. Because you've laughed some, if at all. You've laughed at other
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, iRacing is definitely the expansion of iRacing. I would say that if it wasn't for the COVID, it would probably still be too serious of an atmosphere, because only the serious people would be, hey, we're not here to have play games. Hey, game. This is a simulation.
Yeah, but there's some of our meat space friends have gotten into and better at iRacing, and they've done that. So that's good for them that they've enjoyed that time that they can actually put into it.
and you know that iRacing is embracing it at least slightly because they put a jump in at Irwindale.
Yep.
Fact. There it is.
Like, how can you make a figure eight even funner? Put a jump in it.
Jump.
And bollards next to it, because when you get stuck in the bollards, it's hilarious.
It is kind of fun to get stuck in.
It's hilarious. So I am thinking what I think now is cool is F1, because I was not into F1 before, and now I had all year to watch F1. It was like every Sunday. What am I like this Sunday? I was like, it's Sunday morning. What do I do?
Yeah. Well, welcome to all of us in the second week of February.
Right.
We go, well, no football. What the hell are we gonna do?
Right. Same thing. Except then I have to wait till 4:25 till the shittiest game in the whole freaking world comes on. I like F1 better than football.
I like F1 way better than of course I like literally everything better than football, but yeah.
Right.
I watch football. I put F1 on my list too. I think the Netflix show and you forcing me to watch F1 has made me watch. So I was excited by that. But
It's
for
been a great season.
it's been a very good season. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the non-race car world, but for the automotive world, I think the explosion of and the market of new cars, used cars, and RVs
Interesting.
has been pretty damn interesting. I mean, everybody when the Rona hit because they couldn't fly to places went out and bought RVs, so the prices spiked, and then the manufacturing, the major manufacturing around the world closed down and slowed down, so the tap of new cars kind of got a little scrunchier, and the everybody went out and then had to buy a new car or a new used car, so that the used car prices have kind of skyrocketed. So that's been very interesting.
Good call.
All right.
I like that one. Okay.
So let's get accountable for last year's goals. We had the goals, and if you don't ever look at them again, what good are they? So let's see how we did. I'll start us off. 2020, I said I wanted to have the Honda continue to be reliable and fast. I'm going to call that one worked.
Okay. I buy it.
Right until it got crashed, it was reliable and fast enough. Also wanted to be in contention at every race this year, including a top 3 finish. Check.
Yep, did that one.
Had that. Wanted to instruct at NASA 3 times and try to do official Lemons track walks. That got kind of COVIDed. I did some NASA instruction, and we were on track to do the Lemons track walks. We were talking with Eric and Kim about it in good shape, and that COVIDed. Wanted to do the Motorsport Safety Foundation 1, maybe 2 for instructor. That's a big nope. That fell to the bottom of the list because I wasn't doing any instructions, so forgot about that one. Wanted to do an NSX road trip weekend or just drive it more. Well, Chrissy did this. She took it somewhere. We did most of the driving. We had aside from Chrissy's road trip, we put under 1,000 miles on this year.
I absolutely love the picture of the 2 kids on bicycles that are just staring, jaw dropped, while one of them's trying to snap a picture of you in the NSX on that on the road trip that you did.
And I was like, Allison, take a picture. they were oodling. It was great.
I wanted to work on more consistently braking later. I tried and I failed at that, mostly because the brakes in the Honda were a problem for quite a bit of the year. So I wasn't
didn't use them.
trusting them enough to brake later, right? Sell the MG and Citroen. That's a big nope, but at least we made progress in the Citroen recently. Finish up lots of unfinished details around the house. That is done with a check plus. Not only did we do that, but we did extra projects. So the house is in much better shape now. It's nice. It wasn't bad, but all those little things. Sort the 300ZX.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's that.
man. That's funny.
And get an E1R iRacing League going.
Yeah, we did that.
Hell
we
yeah.
Was
did.
that really in your goals last
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
I had
Get
no
out.
idea.
Well, because we had bought our
Because you
sim.
bought the sim
sim.
for
Right,
Christmas.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I didn't realize I was on it. So
Okay. Christy.
I thought I was going to do really terribly not thinking about what it was actually on my list. But now these are that bad. Do HPDs. I did one at Pitt, and that was great experience as always. And we did another one at VIR. Track was great. Organization was not. So at least we did some HPDE. Win in the Honda. Hell yes, we did that. Perfect heel and toe. I did this. I'm happy to report it. I think I did it just about every time in the Honda, and I did it when I was driving a car. So yeah, I think I'm pretty good at heel towing, which is awesome.
Keep practicing.
I don't drive ever.
Well, when you do, right? Yeah.
I
When you go to the
drive
grocery
store for which I could walk if I didn't buy too much crap. So, but yes.
Yeah, we
I
can't scoot this time of year.
I literally don't go anywhere. Anyway, sell some cars. Yeah, no, we didn't. Do
What
that.
were you going to sell?
MG and Citroen.
Oh. That was on Chris's list. I didn't have it get on your list.
You know they live together, right?
I know that, but it's Chris's job to sell them, not Chrissy's.
I'm still paying for the garage.
No. No,
we want
if that would have said get Chris to sell the effing cars, that would have made sense.
It's not his fault. It's your fault for not working on the Z. Anyway, we're not starting this. We have a lot to talk about. Get a new car. Yay, we did that. So we're happy with the one we got. So my list
Yes,
is good.
that is a great car.
Yes, it is. Mental.
So, all right. So a little shocker. I'm a little long-winded. I actually typed out, I wanted to do more track time and fewer races, and I failed. But I raced more this year than I have ever had previously. and for a brief moment was in contention for the Lemons Drivers Championship. I wanted to build a paddock. I failed at that. I will not get this much free time, and I wasted it on other crap. So this will be 2 years. I'm trying to work on that one. I wanted to autocross. I wanted to sprint race and karting, and I'm going to give myself a push, which is, we always give ourselves a plus or a minus when we set goals for a mission. And push is I did do one autocross. It was awesome, but then the season got shut down and I was out of town for the rest of them. I did not do any sprints, but I feel like I've done an actual decent rental kart showing, and it has humbled me quite a bit. The local outfit that does it here, Exotic Racing Vegas, they are actually planning on some enduros, and this Sunday hanging out with, you start to see the same faces and you talk to people and you help people out and you talk and that sort of thing. And actually a couple of them are listeners now because they found us on the Instagram, which linked them to the show. So we formed a team for some of the enduros. They've got a 12-hour enduro and they're planning on doing a 24-hour enduro. And when I mentioned I have an RV that I'll park out front and we can all sleep in it, they're like, I'm on your team, man. So, and these are some fast guys, and then we kind of run the age gamut. Just good people, the typical kind of racers, just solid folks. And I'm looking forward to that. Personally, I wanted to always have my yearly goal of running a marathon. In 2020, decided no one will be running marathons this year. But I've gotten faster and I've gotten a lot more consistent. So I'm probably as quick as I've ever been, especially on the long distance run. I'm going to call that one a wash. My non-racing hobbies to complement racing, I'm going to say done. And primarily that was iRacing. I used to actually get up and do races at 5 o'clock in the morning to try and get my license. I've been lazy about that. I need to get back on it. And I was actually afforded the opportunity to work a lot of races this year. And that was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. And I'm really going to build on that. I wanted to be a better teammate, and I went through an entire thing on this one. And I've failed, and I've meditated on this one, and I can put it to several points. And the first one is the teams that I've on have all gotten better. So as I've tried to get better, they've also gotten better. So I've just basically maintained a status by moving forward. And my knowledge is expanding, but it's not in areas that people need knowledge. So you guys, and then the folks out here on the West Coast, and Corey and all those guys. So I did have a successful weekend as a pit mom out at Button Willow because I've got no one out here on the West Coast to compete with as far as how to organize a paddock. So I took a lot of lessons from someone I know, and came out looking like a superhero. So I feel like on this side of the track, but Jackie's out here now, so I'm screwed.
Just partner with her. She needs help.
There you go.
I'm serious. That's
Yeah.
It makes it great when you partner. You don't have to be the best pit mom. If you partner with somebody and be a great pit
co-parents
with right, we're co-parents.
Fact. That's a good one. So if I look back on the weekends, my intentions were there, but my performance wasn't there. And I'm trying to fill my goals and needs and what I want to do over the weekend. And I'm not opening myself up and finding the opportunities of what the team needs, what the organization needs. So it's an area for improvement. I'm going to have to really get out of my comfort zone. One of the things because I just agreed to get it. I hadn't gotten it yet, but I wanted to make the most of the Mercedes. Great big check. Yes. And my final goal is I wanted
continents.
Couple of times. Yeah. My last one is I wanted to be open and appreciative of the opportunities and experiences. And I'm rereading that along with everything that I just talked about. And I think I did. I may not have conveyed it, but if I raced with you or hung out with you or worked a race and you came in the penalty box, I am genuinely appreciative that you were there, and thank you for making this very difficult year really rewarding.
Not
if I look
they
at
came into the penalty box.
If they came, they were several
like
times. They're like at Houston, there were a lot of brand new racers, and they were just making rookie mistakes, and they would come in there and they would be so scared, and oh my God, it's mental. He's gonna and I would see that look. I'm like, I remember that. I remember being that person, and I have an opportunity here to either just make a great, video snippet or to encourage someone to continue this hobby that we love. And I hope most of the time I chose the latter of the options, just get these people to stay with the hobby on that one. I want to take more chances and embrace more failure. And I failed a lot, and I need to process and learn those lessons. But I think I'm better. We'll find out next year.
All right. Wow.
Cool.
That's long. I hope I'm not that long, but I might be. The 2019 list, according to the notes that I just read.
2020, you mean?
Well, yeah, the end of 2019. Yeah, 2020 list. Thank you.
For 2020.
Yes, for 2020 had the same things on it for the couple of years, and it was do a road trip with the wife in the Corvette. Road trips, not really a thing. I changed it last year to, well, get the Corvette on the track, because she said that might be possible. There's no track time, so that didn't happen either. But we did, unlike the NSX, it actually got a lot of miles this year, and a lot driven by Jen. Getting her over when I broke the window, after I broke the window and I got the new tires, I think it kind of like said, well, okay, let's just take it. And then all summer long, nobody was really going anywhere, but I had to go to work every now and then. I had no air conditioning, so got a lot of like just regular commuting time. And the wife loves the new tires, so she just takes it whenever. And so it's actually got a lot more use. So A+. I give it 0.3 on that.
For our new listeners, you bought this from one of her relatives that
inherited,
she'd always wanted
from her mother.
Yeah, and so that's what a Corvette is supposed to be for.
Exactly.
I'm just going to run to the store for a quart of milk, but I'm going to do it in a Corvette because
Yeah, it is an automatic C6. It was her mother's. She gave it to us a few years before she passed away, and she has since passed away. And for a while, I think Jen was a little afraid of it. And the ancient tires made it a little squirrely when you punched it, and getting the new tires on it and getting her to be more comfortable with it was a bonus. So and she's willing to take it to the track, but we just haven't really had the option. So anyway, probably for the last 10 years I've said get the International Harvester running. No, nothing has changed on that. Get more projects done is something
Chris got it running once.
I know, almost. I was a coil away.
Yeah.
And then you bought the parts, I think.
Yeah.
And they're on the seat.
They're on the seat.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're still on the seat.
My father said this the other day when he came over when we were selling the Oldsmobile. He said, "What are you going to do with that truck?" And I said, "Get it running someday." He said, "Well, when are you going to do that?" And I said, "I've heard this concept called free time, but I've never actually had any of it."
If I didn't just have to spend a whole weekend on the stupid Oldsmobile, then I would have been
exactly Aunt's house or any of the other 1,000 things I've been doing. But anyway,
Right.
but this is actually what I said. I said I wanted to get more projects done around the house. I said that last year, and that got done. Let me tell you, if it wasn't, the floors in the house are fantastic. We got the split system. There's a ton of work that got done around the house.
Your door doesn't electrocute people anymore.
Yes.
And you did all of this with really just 1 or 2 dozen OSHA violations.
It's
it was
true.
Very grabbing a glove to open the door.
So they are OSHA violations. It's just that OSHA doesn't know about them because they don't really care because it's a personal home.
OSHA doesn't know. Doesn't matter. What the township inspector does not know is not their problem. So that's all in there. I also said I would be teaching. No, didn't happen. I said I'd be working on my waistline. The final tally is still to be decided, but I actually track my workouts on like a 12-month calendar thing that hangs in my bathroom. If you remember right in the beginning of COVID, I broke my elliptical.
Yes.
And I got the new elliptical that is like the high resistance elliptical. By the end of March, I had worked out more in 2020 than I did in all of 2019.
That's great.
Good.
So whatever the final tally is, it will absolutely eclipse.
Okay. Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The jeans fit.
And if I may be a jerk, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, I think your performance on track has reflected that.
I don't know about that, but I'm still skilled.
Jeff, you're fast.
I know, but I don't think that's
you're fast for a while.
Time. Yeah. But anyway, the elliptical makes the suit fit better. That works.
Always good.
Each year for the past 2 or 3 years, I have said add a bucket list track. Nope, didn't happen this year. Try something that's a non-Lemons event. Also did not happen.
We had it on the schedule.
Sorry.
Didn't happen. No, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it just didn't happen. I also had moved my instructor level up. Didn't happen. Just
Like
move all those
be an
last couple
instructor or
right to the 2020. The
Okay.
MSF. I wanted to do the MSF stuff.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
Well, level 1 requires no track time.
I know. I paid for it. I have
Okay.
it in my. I could do it right on.
It took me an hour.
I know. I it's that free time
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm. Too bad we didn't. We'd have to build all these race cars again.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
That
all
should
right.
take
Time.
effect.
Let's
time
move
for
on to
2021.
2021.
Let's look
Looking
forward.
forward.
Predictions.
Absolutely.
Goals.
I want to have 2 decent working race cars
Woo! That
Oh,
is
yeah.
bold.
and use them both regularly at either races or HPDs with no major failures or crashes.
I was
Major.
right with you there till the end.
Major failures or
I was
crashes.
like, this is accomplishable.
I'm expecting teething issues.
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't want to have to change
Okay.
the motor in a Z mostly.
Oh no.
No.
No
No.
major failures or crashes. All right,
All
so that's that one.
right.
I think
All right.
that's accomplishable. I want to finish the boat again.
Yep.
We got close. We got to do it right this time. This year, I'm not doing a trailer in the spring, so I'll do this. Sell the Citroen and the MG. Really, like we're close enough. We're close enough for the Citroen. Like we got the pictures, we got the video. It runs. We're good. I just got to write it up and send it to bring a trailer. I was waiting until after the holidays when people might actually look at it. I didn't want to be the one guy whose auction ended on Christmas and no one's paying attention. I want to do some house exterior work. There's a few things we've let slide on the outside of the house, like the deck rail and the trim around the window in the back and the boards in the front of the house. Like a couple things like that.
Mhm.
I still want to take the NXX on a trip. One Chrissy took was nice. Been like that. That'd be nice.
go with you.
MSF1. Yeah. Perfect. Bring
No.
Jen. Take the Corvette.
Yep.
Oh, I meant like I
That
thought
would be
you
a great
guys
2
were
target.
going.
Oh yeah. No.
I was like,
Chris and
target
I are not
vehicles on a
Thelma and
road trip.
Louise.
That would be awesome.
In the NSX.
oh,
I'm not driving it off a cliff, Jeff. MSF1 or maybe 2. I agree with Jeff. That's just good to do.
Yeah.
It was still more consistently braking later. Hopefully the brakes work in the cars we're using and we'll be able to do that. And I'd like to be able to actually run again. I've had this ankle issue that's been nagging at me for quite a long time, and I'd like to move past that. That'd be nice.
that would be great.
Yep.
Yes. So on
Chrissy.
that note, I would like to stay in great shape. As previously mentioned, I don't leave the house. I work out a lot. When life gets back to normal, I hope I continue that. So I am going to keep that on a goal list. And I think I'll just have less time to work out if I ever have to leave. So keep it as priority. Get more comfortable with driving cars that aren't the Honda. Now, so I used to just say, well, the Honda, I'm getting in the car. that's what I
Yeah.
used to know.
Chrissy,
that.
do you want to take a shift in the boat?
No.
No.
Well,
Do you want to take a shift in the Ombre?
No.
No.
No. So so I just need to get better at ramping up, getting more excited. It really, some of it's just being excited to figure out how to drive another car as well as I drove the Honda. I'm also adding brake later on to mine as well, as long as you have brakes that I rely on. And I wasn't going to add the boat. I'm adding it begrudgingly because it's on Chris's list. So I'm going to add it to mine.
Doesn't matter if it's on your list, you're doing it.
I know.
We'll get it done. It'll be great. It's so close, but so far, but it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
So this year, I'm not, I hesitate to say this because I said it last year and it worked out differently, but I am not planning on doing almost any racing this year. My life circumstances are changing, but the bright point of that is it is allowing me to work a lot of Lemons races. Actually, I think the email from Kim was, I will freaking put you down for all of them. But I'm genuinely looking forward to it because broads are rise. One of the great things that I'd worked a couple of races this year, and at Houston, Sajeev said, let's go for a walk. And Friday night we walked through the paddock, and I just forgotten how much fun that is. Cause normally, especially if we're in contention, we're trying to tighten everything up. But I had no dogs in any fight, and just walking around and just talking to people, such joy in that. So I'm looking forward to doing that again this year. I said this last year, I'm going to do it. I'm going to build a paddock. I've actually gathered some of the items, and I've at least moved in that direction. In 2009, when I first started doing this kind of lemons nonsense, we were all building cars. My buddy Justin built a paddock, and that made him invaluable to a dozen teams. And I want to get into that. So, he had a van.
What is your
trailer.
definition of build a paddock?
So the trailer needs to be a lot more functional and a lot prettier. The RV,
You bought the wrong trailer if you want it to be pretty.
Well, yes, but I'm in a place now where I can make it pretty and it can stay pretty.
Sure.
And it can be functional. The RV it's been really great. And I keep a notebook of things that would just be really great.
A
Chrissy
generator
mentioned
that
something.
works.
A generator, which I have. There's a generator in my garage now. I just need to get it installed to get it functional. But you're absolutely right, especially out here on the West Coast, because a lot of the tracks don't have power. Chrissy had mentioned some modifications to the back garage for people to be able to hang helmets and that sort of stuff. Kind of use that as a staging area. I've got some other tools. My friend Dustin built a helmet dryer using computer fans, and I've seen some stuff. These are some things that I really have the opportunity to build, test, and not have to do while I'm racing. And if I'm stupid, I won't get this done, but I really need to get this done. And finally, the party wrecks. I want the party wrecks. When you guys come out here to race on the West Coast, we are going to cruise around in the ugliest UTV ever, booming bad music with neon underglow. It's going to be fantastic.
Neon should be on everything, by the way. The kits are so damn cheap. There's no reason not to have it.
It's like
on
80
every
bucks
single
for
car.
a bad kit at Pep Boys.
A good kit on the internet.
Fair.
Is
Sprint
there
racing.
such a thing as a good undercar neon kit?
Yes.
Actually, yeah, he's
Okay, sure.
kind of right. Yeah, because the
LEDs are just so cheap.
yeah. And there's good LEDs and bad LEDs. Like all the LEDs in your kitchen are good LEDs.
I put that stuff on everything.
Yeah. The sprint
Is
racing.
that Grey Poupon commercial?
Every now and
Red
again,
hot.
and Donnie's made the joke, and I do too, but Facebook Marketplace has become weaponized. And every now and again, I will see a dirt track car show up for like $250 to $500. And by the time I click on it, it's sold. And I'm going to grab one. And it was like a Kia Rio and a Chevy Cavalier. And who cares if they blow up?
Yeah, the world is better
Yeah.
with fewer Cavaliers and Rios.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Let them all
And
go.
I just need to grab it and do it. My big thing is fitness. I am super mad jealous of Chrissy's routine, like her shoulder definition. I seriously, I want those. I really want to be stronger, especially, big surprise to everybody. In 45 days, I'm 50 years old. Now in the world of 50-year-olds, I look great. In the world this clown show, I'm middle of the road, and then I spend way too much time with Matt. So
I'm at the bottom. Then.
so I really want to get a lot physically stronger. 2021 for me is actually going to be a challenge, and I know it's coming. I'm losing my job in May. And I've got 3 big goals that I need to knock out before I walk out. This is my mic drop moment as I leave the Air Force again. It's about taking care of people and doing the right thing and kind of leaving a good legacy. And I'm very adamant about that. It was one of the things I was working on today. And I want to meet the next chapter of my life with the same excitement I did back in 2014, really, when we were doing all this other kind of stuff. I just need to do it a lot smarter than I did the last time. So those are my goals.
So how long were you back in? 5 years?
2.
2 years? It was really only 2 years.
And it hasn't even been 2 years. I've only been here since May of last year.
Oh, that's right. Because you weren't the whole time you were back in Atlanta.
June. And I was teaching, and I don't regret that. It was a wonderful experience, and it really expanded my time. And I still have, I've made some great connections, like just intellectually, and learned a lot from it. But I don't know what the next chapter looks like, and I would think about going back into that, but coronavirus, and I live in the 5th largest school district. No.
Yeah, that was Good timing.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Yeah, a lot of vague goals on those last two there, but this is it's about moving into the next phase. Jeff, what are you looking to do next year?
So finish and develop the Z. I think I'm a little bit different than Chris because I want to develop the car. I want to see the improvements race to race, and that's big for me. It's not going to be winning right away, and teething issues. Teething issues happen, but also the improvement part happens. So, like, oh, the brakes really are overheating. Okay, well, let's devise a way to make them less heat. And then it's a little like this because we need to get more of this kind of suspension setting. Okay, what can we do to re-engineer to make it better? Or the car itself is overheat. There's so that part of the process, the find the weak point, move the weak point further down the road is what I'm looking forward to.
And you guys have a lot of experience with that.
Yeah, I mean, we raced S10s for a long time, and they had a lot of weak points. I wouldn't say we raced a Rolls. We were in a race
No, we played
in a
that
Rolls.
game on how do we make these cars
survive
better.
Survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also the Wago van, the boat, the Honda. There's a lot of development.
It's basically been Civics or S10s for the most part, or weird things.
Yeah. The weird things were definitely learning curves. But anyway, yeah, so that learning curve in the new chassis and the LS swap, that's what I'm looking for. I want to move toward the garage project. Not going to finish it in the next year, but I want to move towards it. Have my name on the house that I've made every single payment on for the last 5 years. That's like step A. And then, get an engineering diagram and talk to someone who will tell me whether it's better to build on the house or off the house. That we're going to move towards that in the next year.
Cool.
It's going to be a new car year, probably. The 3 I think is not going to be my car next summer because I'm too bougie to live that AC. So something zoomy, something small, something with a stick is definitely in my future. And I'll talk about it on the here. So when I'm driving things, it'll all be talked here. Electric and winch in the trailer. I am super jelly of the electricity that flows through Chris and Chrissy's trailer, and I want it. I want to travel and race. Flat out.
These are a lot of
these are good ambitious goals. Yeah.
Especially with COVID.
Stretch goals.
These are stretch
that's
goals.
good.
By the
That's
summer,
good.
we should be able to travel again, right? That's what they're saying.
Some places, yeah.
I think I read today that at the current level of inoculations, we will have herd immunity in 10 years. So,
Good.
August should do it,
We're
right?
fine.
So I want to get Josh and Jen or the car or something at the track. I am not bringing any family ever to the track, and I want to fix that. Josh is getting a little older. He's getting more interesting. Jen is watching a lot of racing. Like, I'm not even in the house. I come home and she's watching racing, and she's starting to know
Does she watch
things.
the F1 with you?
She does watch F1 with me, and she's less interested in that, but like touring car. She seems to like touring car and
fun.
stuff like that.
How about we target Pit Race NASA Great Lakes HPDE 1 for her first event, because she's having to have a good experience with that group.
I don't know if she's going to want to commit to a weekend of driving first.
Okay.
I think she would attend
track
an event
night
and actually pay attention,
How about
or a
track
track night and
at
do like a round or
NJMP?
two.
It's like down the street.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could do a track
Exactly.
night.
I think that
And
is
if-
more the first step.
If you go as an advanced driver, or I go, or whatever, Chrissy, any of us, they let advanced drivers run with novices.
Exactly. That's probably
Especially
more.
if you live in the same household,
Yeah.
right? Then you're
But
fine.
even if she just attends and camps with us, like that would be enough. And you know what I mean? Like that would check the box off. Listen to me in a year from now. That would check the box.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do a real 24, still on the list. Don't know if it's even going to be possible next year. Don't know if they're running them. Don't
Going
know if
by
I'll
yourself.
have anybody. Yeah. New track, new series is a carryover. Instructor level up is a carryover. And my favorite New Year's resolution, and the only resolution I make every year, because honestly, if I want to change something about myself, I just do it. I don't wait for a holiday to do it.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Every year, I say, don't fall down. And then I figure out how long I can go into the year without falling down.
Like just like tripping over something.
Yes, tripping, falling down, like flat on your ass or on your face. That counts. From January 1st, how long can you go without falling down? And if you have this in your mind and you make this a goal, you're more careful. You don't do stupid stuff.
I mean, I might
Uh,
have. Go ahead.
No, go crazy.
Mental's like, no, I want to do stupid stuff.
I only think I fell down once this year. That was it.
Oh, I'm just saying, now that I've said this, from
When I'm thinking
January
about it.
1st, everybody try and pay attention. And on this podcast, we can
Yep,
say,
no, I'm down. We'll have
Yeah.
a running tally of who fell down this week.
I
that
don't
will
really
add
want to
into
tell
what
you
you're
if I
working on.
fell down.
No,
That's the
I f-
problem.
The only time I can remember this year is I fell out of the boat in the driveway.
that counts.
Oh,
Does
that,
it-
oh,
That
that
counts.
doesn't count.
It totally counts.
I fell out of the boat in the
Yes.
driveway. Yeah.
On a. the
Did you
boat
land
is
on
the
your
trailer.
feet?
No.
No.
Then
I
it
sure
counts.
as hell
No.
didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
it counts.
Oh, I know.
I was going to say, in regards to 24, you get two at once. It is shaping up that the race at High Plains is probably going to be another 24, and that's a great track to run in 24. The High Plains people like having it out there. Lemons likes running it out there, and God knows we know enough teams that would be delighted to have you. The Inglorious Bastards try to show up with two Miatas every year, and you'd fit in great with those guys.
Love them, Miatas. Sure.
Mhm. And it's a fun track to run a Miata on.
Everything on this list is doable.
Yeah, fly here, ride up with me. I'll work the race. You know,
It's
we'll
just-
sleep in the
it's just
RV. It'll be
all of
great.
it. It's all of it's gonna
All
be
of it's a
tough, but-
lot. Absolutely.
It's a lot.
All of it's a lot.
Yeah.
Bring the
but-
whole family. We'll leave Jen and Josh here. Josh will swim in the pool.
That might be
Then
the
we'll hang out with
trickiest one on
Vicky.
the list.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Because that's the
Not
one
un-
that I can't do myself.
It's not impossible, this whole
It's
thing.
not
but-
impossible.
All right. Good luck.
Whew.
If you're running a 24, get a hold of us on our social media, because and I say this without a hint of irony, and everyone on this podcast will agree with me. You want Jeff on your team because he can wrench.
Oh,
He
I
is
can
a
wrench.
great. He is.
I
a
don't
great-
sleep.
He's a great organizer.
At 4
And-
in the morning, I'm still wrenching just because.
Yeah, exactly. Just because. And if you're having a bad day and then you run into Jeff, even if you want to keep having a bad day, you can't.
I'm kind of funny looking. Just the tip.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Let's do it. So
Yeah.
I can't start
Let's
this
do it.
with the reasons not to drink and drive, mostly because most of you are likely to not actually be going anywhere, probably sitting in your living room just like you are right now. So if you're going out, don't even think about drinking and driving, please. And also, if you're going out, please, please, please wear a mask. Anyway, we're actually going to talk today about the sparkling wine safety. Okay. Do you know the dangers? This is assuming that your sparkling wine has
No.
a cork first. If it does, just twist it off. I'm sorry. You'll be
If
fine.
it does not.
I
What?
understand you're making levity of this, but I've actually seen like 3 people get hit with
Yeah.
those like plastic ones. This is legit.
Oh, okay, fine. Do the same thing with the plastic one. It's if you just don't have a twist off is what I'm getting at. Even the what?
Oh, and of
Oh.
course the piano says different.
Wow, that's
Jeff's
a
got some
lovely
move.
bottle. I know. I don't even know we have some.
I went to get my sparkling wine and I wrecked my desk. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Just don't wreck the bottle because that's a good bottle. Anyway, okay. So
You
do
can fall
know-
down now though, because
Don't
you
fall down.
It's
Is it
no
a-
no
is
it's
it a
it's
Magnum?
not the
No,
new year. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, anyway. So do you know how to open it safely? Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. First of all, seriously, don't even think about trying to get your sword or machete out. It's dumb. You're gonna waste the whole bottle and you have glass everywhere. Just don't, okay? Just
Mhm.
don't. I don't, even if you're joking, just don't joke. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna learn how to open it safely. Not sure that everybody does this technique, but I believe this technique works well. And I know a guy who knows more about actual champagne than we will ever learn ever. And he's taught us to do this. So that's why I'm gonna go with it. Anyway, if you first of all, you have no idea how this bottle was actually stored, so don't assume that the cork is in well and that it's going to take a lot, that it is going to take a lot of work to get it out. Assume that once you touch it, it's going to leave its home and it's going to shoot out, right? Okay,
Fly, be free.
Just like a gun.
basically.
Well, we've had that as
Assume it
soon
is
as the
loaded.
cage comes off. We've
Yeah.
had one just
Just
pop on us.
Pop.
with
I mean, didn't
not even touching it.
explode, but
Right.
like it could happen. So most bottles are probably not going to, but let's not assume that that's the way it's going to be. Okay, so first of all, you're going to take off the wrapper, and as you're doing that, you're going to put your thumb over the cork and the cage. You're going to unwind the cage. You're holding it. I wish I could do this. I don't have a stand, and I'm the only one that doesn't, but I would like to show you, or Chris can be my Vanna. So you put your thumb over the top, and then you are put your thumbs over the top, and your other hand is unwinding the cage. Okay, good. You're move your thumb. Oh, okay, so you're going to take off the wrapper, and then put your thumb back on really quick. And yes, okay. So then you put your cage away. Done. Now in your other hand, you're going to get a towel, and don't do this, Jeff. You're
Well, he doesn't have the cage off.
Cage
It's
is
okay.
don't take the cage off. Okay. On your dominant hand, get a hand towel and put it on there. But you are going to hold. Oh, you're being Van. I understand. Okay. So you're going to hold down like this, and your dominant hand is going to hold the towel on top of it, but you are going to push like it's really hard. You are going to give it all of your might. Okay. So you're going to be pushing it down, and you are going to now, your other hand is kind of underneath. We already took off. Did we take off the cage? We didn't take off the cage yet. We took
Yeah,
off
we
the
did.
wrapper.
We
We
took
did.
the cage.
We
No.
took the cage.
Okay, so you're still holding it down, right? So you're still assuming that it's going to fly off. You are going to hold your non-dominant hand around the neck, and you're going to hold it very steady. You're going to
You know-
keep up.
I prefer holding the non-dominant hand around the more wider part of the bottle because you have more leverage. Because the non-dominant hand is the one that should be moving while your dominant hand is holding the cork steady.
Okay. Okay,
That's
so you
all.
could flip hands and do this, but basically one hand is holding the bottle steady, the other hand is holding the cork down, and you are going to hold it down, but you're going to like twist it back and forth a little bit to try to like wedge it up just a little bit. But you're all while you're pushing down as hard as you possibly can. So the whole idea is that you are making it so that you're applying pressure, and then this might take anywhere from a minute to 10 seconds to 5 seconds, because again, you don't know how much pressure is under the cork. So the whole idea is to not make any sound while you're removing the cork. So most people are like, pop, oh, yay. The whole idea is to not make any sound. And it's the safest way, because obviously you don't want it to shoot and hit something, and that's great. But also it's so it doesn't overflow and lose all the bubbles, and then it gets flat and it's no fun.
Actually better for the champagne or the bubbles too. Like
Yes.
if you don't pop it.
Right.
So we shouldn't just like Formula One, the frick all over your friends.
Well, the
Yes.
Formula One bottle is already open, just sitting waiting. They shake it and then they spray it. So obviously,
they do the thumb over the.
especially
Yeah.
with
Hose
a lovely bottle that you have right there. You do not want to do that round. But yeah, so be safe with your removal of corks. Yeah, that's what I have.
And it gives you a chance to be really snotty, but people are like, ah, and you're like, no, that's not the proper way for
There you go.
your champagne.
Yes, that's a great idea.
I'll put my saber away.
Please.
I
There
don't
are like
have
two
to-
people in the world that know how to do it that way. They tell you you could do
actually-
it.
yeah.
You do?
No, I have a saber though, but yes.
Don't use it, okay?
No. Yeah, it's a military saber, and we got them for a wedding.
Good. If you have one, keep it there and don't
Yeah.
use it on your bottle.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm very excited. We don't even have to say it, but don't shoot your eye out with the freaking fireworks,
Yeah,
because
that
you're not
too.
allowed to do fireworks because you got to
was
stay
like-
home
Right?
alone.
That's sad.
Well, you're not allowed to do fireworks. I live in a state that embraces freedom.
Actually, we have New Jersey has a lot more fireworks than it used to. But that's not the tip. The tip is about your champagne or sparkling wine, not about your fireworks. Do we know what we're doing next week?
I think we do.
We do.
In a dangerous trend leading into the new
Man.
This is like
Oh,
3
actually
weeks in a
do.
row.
Don't
I
assume
know.
it's
Actually,
going
no.
to stay that way.
Uh, so on the Book of Faces, or somewhere else, you might have seen the Jalopnik article about the W Series racer Emma Kimmelanian.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, find it and read it. But the author, Jalopnik editor, Radwood co-founder, and friend of the show, Bradley Brownell, is going to join us to catch up, talk about Radwood, Rad for Sale, and his new venture launching in 2021 that's probably going to be an E1R exclusive. Brad's always interesting. We enjoy having him here, so we're looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ow.
I'm pressing play, but it's not playing. What's going on here?
Check that off your bingo
I
card.
hope
Jeff
you
has
have your bingo
problems.
card out.
Yep.
There it is. I got it. It's like I can't start reading the end until we get it. That's awesome. We know what we're doing next week. And the week after that, and the week after that. It's like a trend. It's like a New Year's resolution. But no, it is not. Thank you for downloading us in our New Year's resolution show. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. If you're watching on the YouTubes, it's right about here. It's right about here. And then talk to us in the doodly-doo. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers. Email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com or text mental. Vegas time, people. Don't wake them up. 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram or Twitter at everyone.racers. Thanks again, and until next week.
And genuinely, thank you all. This is 3 years we've been doing this. Thank you all so much.
And I was going to say, keep your champagne cork side up, because none of us are driving any race cars because it's the middle of the winter and it's the middle of the Rona. But anyway, just keep those wheels down.